Today on Coffee with the Founder, we're interviewing you, Brooke Hopkins, who is the founder of Coval, who's having quite the year, you were saying just recently. Well, 2025, you had quite the year. It's now 2026. You used to be at Waymo. You are now building simulation evaluation AI agents at Coval. And you're based in San Francisco, which is a hop in time, if ever I did say. I was just talking with another founder about that. Thanks for being here and being on our little show.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Super excited to chat today.
So what you said here is Coval accelerates AI agent development with automated testing for chat, voice, and other objective-oriented systems. You said you have a report coming out on just the state of how voice AI is going. Where are we right now in January 2026?
Yeah, I mean, the last year has been really exciting for voice.
Mm-hmm.
Really, we went from people just trying to put together voice AI applications and making them work, making sure that they were low enough latency, that that it was high reliability, and being able to get to the end of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And then over the course of 2025, it went from the bare bones to much more complex architectures. So having multi-agent systems, having background agents, having all sorts of guardrails and things to build really reliable, scalable voice AI. And then all sorts of amazing models have come out over the past year. DeepGram released Flux, which is an amazing transcription model. Cartesia, 11 Labs, Rhyme, all of the voice AI providers have launched new, faster, better, cheaper models. The LLMs have become better. So we saw the rise of Gemini in voice AI it used to be that only OpenAI was really used for voice applications, and now the rise of other types of LLMs that have been really powerful for powering the reasoning behind voice AI.
Mm-hmm.
And what Coval does is that we run simulations and then live monitoring of your calls to be able to show you where things are going wrong, where there are issues, and how you can improve it.
To clarify, you're doing what's going wrong with the actual AI discussing with, let's say, a customer.
Exactly.
Okay, so yeah, you normally hear like this call is being recorded for monitoring, verification, but that's because it's with a real human. This case is no, it's actually being monitored for the AI component, right?
Exactly, it's being monitored. It's being monitored by Coval instead of a human listening back to the call or some other very expensive form of you have to listen to hours and hours of calls.
Yeah, God, that must have been quite a job. Okay. Now, you were at Waymo, you were at Google, you have all this expertise. How did this problem stand out to you that made you say, you know what, I want to do this crazy thing called venture-backed startups?
Yeah. Well, what's cool is both my parents are entrepreneurs, and my grandfather was also an entrepreneur. So I kind of have a history of all of the people in my life starting their own businesses.
Oh, okay. That's where you got the bug. Okay.
So I think that definitely put me in the predisposition to being But I went to Waymo really wanting to work on something really technically interesting, but that was also pushing the bounds from a product perspective. And I think while I was at Waymo, I built out our data set management infrastructure, and then went on to lead our team that was responsible for our developer tools for launching and running simulations.
Okay.
Learned a lot through doing a lot of this product, as well as engineering and kind of all the customer discovery of talking to lots of different teams, figuring out what they need. And when I left, I realized that a lot of these things are probably very helpful for those outside of self-driving, outside of that space.
Yeah.
And it was AI seems like it has a lot of these problems, but I know exactly what it looks like. And then our first customer was in voice. And so that's kind of how we stumbled into it, is I knew that something we had built at Waymo was going to be really useful, that frame of reference for probabilistic evaluation. You're trying to say, how often is this going to be right? Instead of it's either pass or fail all the time.
Yes.
And then also just being how do you think about these problems? How do you run simulations? All of these things became really applicable to voice AI. So that's kind of how we landed in the space. Right about that time, GPT-4o came out, which was the best reasoning model. It finally unlocked the ability to have a full conversation. And so the timing was really serendipitous that we had our first voice AI customer, kind of grew with the industry, and now we're working with Fortune 500 companies to scale up with them.
Got it. Okay, so just right time, right place, all the things, plus your expertise.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. What do you love about this space? Because AI is everywhere. It's all over the place. Everyone has an agent building this, doing that, whatever. This is in like customer service, I would say. So for you, what's the like, yes, I get up in bed, I get out of bed for this every day.
I think what's so cool about voice is it's really technically interesting. It's
Mm,
um, one of the only types of agents that's really in production at scale for large enterprises for customer critical
mm,
use cases. And it's also just really at the frontier. It's a new medium that it's a new platform that I think every company is going to have a voice AI
yeah.
application that it's going to be like mobile or web, where you would never buy a ticket from an airline that doesn't have a website or a mobile app. And I think it's going to be similar, where you would never sit on the phone for 20 minutes
No,
years from now, because
no.
you
Oh
expect
my
to
gosh.
be able to do things fast.
Brooke, you just had like the aha for me of just like, oh my gosh, you will never have that. I've always thought, oh my gosh, it's so lovely when they say, oh, the whole time is over an hour. We'll call you back, punch in your number. And I'm
Yeah.
like, thank God. Of course, then I missed the call back because, I'm doing something else. But yes, imagine so. Imagine so you have no hold time.
Well, and I think
Customer
people are
service.
so used to bad IVR systems, which is
Oh,
the
they are.
button for blah, 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 press two, and then you wait for 20 minutes. But
Yeah.
really, you could call and just immediately have an agent at your fingertips like ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Say like, hey, can you quickly just can I change my plane ticket? And then the airline says, the only available option is like 2 hours from now, and it's $100. Do you want to take that? And you're like, no, or yes. Um, I think that would be a delightful experience. I think people just have this image of really awful voice AI systems
Oh, yes.
that they've been
Yes.
surprised by.
Yes, exactly. Mm. When you can get to something that like deeply is painful, hated even frankly, like going through customer service and the voice shenanigans that happen with that. My God, you solve that. That's a big deal. Okay. Why, Brooke, did you decide to do a venture-backed company? You were in Y Combinator. You were
Yeah.
at these other plushy big places. You obviously are familiar with then startups in the tech world, of course. But what was it where you're like, I absolutely have to, I'm going to be crazy and do this?
I think something that's really exciting about building a venture backed startup versus bootstrapping or building
Hmm.
a small business is that it's just the ambition, and it pushes you to your limits. And I think that has always driven me of, I think, very, very competitive, ambitious, competitive with myself, and ambitious of wanting to push
Mm,
myself to the next challenge.
mm.
And I think that's a fun part about venture is it really, it's either go big or go home. Like,
Basically.
and it's just really exhilarating. So I think that every single bit of being a founder has been so much fun. Like, I wake up every day with my dream job, which is really fun. Uh, and I get to work on really technically interesting systems. Like,
Hmm.
voice AI systems are really interesting because you get to work with three to six different models just in the base case. And those are changing all the time. Like, everything is moving so fast. And also, I get to work with like my favorite people. I get to, things
Yes.
that I want to work at.
Yes. Man, that cannot be overhyped, in my opinion, is like the joy of working with people you select to work with because you are initially the person who hires every single person that works for you is such a freaking joy.
It's
And it's so great when you have years of experience now working with people. I have that at BAM. And it's just, I mean, it's what makes the world go round.
Yeah, I think every single person on my team I deeply respect and learn from every single day. And
Mm,
it's really cool because I think too, when we've gotten to the point where everyone on our team, I think I close my eyes and trust fall. We have we have a joke that like I'll be on a call or I'll have a demo that I'm about to do and something isn't working that's really critical for the demo. And we have a phrase called I'm going to trust fall. And I have a demo. I have to show this in 23 minutes. At 23 minutes, I'm going to open the page and I'm just going to trust fall and hope that it works. And I think that's the kind of trust that I have with my team, where I just know that they can like make magic happen. That
yeah.
like we're a team, and we can just assume that when we're going to do something, it happens. And
Yeah.
that's such a magical feeling.
Oh man. Yeah. It cannot be oversold. Um, okay. How do you, amid this time of everyone trying to hire every damn person in SF specifically, deal with that? Where are you finding your people? From past experience, maybe?
Yeah, I think past experience has been awesome. Kobe on our team, Kobe and I worked together at Waymo for 5 years. He was
Yeah.
actually one of the first engineers, one of the very early engineers on Waymo simulation, and was there for 10
Oh,
years.
fabulous.
Rhea is my best friend, and so she started at Coval. She said basically, I want to do anything and everything to make Coval awesome. I think so.
But wait, she's your best friend?
Yes,
How did this conversation go?
yeah.
Hey,
And
you want to come work together with me? I mean, that sounds like, again, back to the dream,
I think it's been like awesome to hire people that you have so much trust with,
Yeah.
because you're able to like move so fast. And so much of
Yes.
startups is trust based. It's like
Oh,
everyone's
yeah.
in their own work stream, and you just need to trust that that person is going to make the best decisions possible, because I can't possibly have the time to make decisions on all the small things that
I
happen every
know.
single day.
Isn't
And
that the truth?
that's like a really awesome part of working with people that you know really well and trust, is that you can move so fast.
Yeah. Mm, mm. How do you accelerate the trust, would you say?
With new people,
Yeah, or yes, when you have the built-in best friend of 10 years, okay, there's all of those little marbles of trust, let's say, in the jar. But yeah, with new people, especially if they're coming from, oh, I haven't been here and known you for 12 years, let's say. What do
yeah,
you do? And the reason I push on this a little bit too, Brooke, is trust is one of our theme words in 2026 for BAM. We always have a word of the year, and then we do like curriculum around it and do all these things and so forth. So yeah, tell me.
yeah, I think creating opportunities for trust, like if you are constantly not giving space for someone to rise to the occasion, or
Mm,
like kind of take on something that you didn't know if they could or couldn't do,
mm-hmm.
finding those, I think really great managers that I've had is they find these opportunities where it's okay if you fail, but it's also high stakes enough that it matters,
Yeah,
and giving someone the support they need in order to excel there, but also giving them enough space to be able to rise to the occasion,
yeah,
build your trust in them.
yeah,
I think it's more art than science for sure, but
yeah.
that's I had an old manager who really just assumed you could do assumed you could do really ambitious things until proven otherwise, and I think that's such a good
Hmm.
quality
I
as a
like that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Assume you could do the wildly ambitious until, yeah, and proven otherwise. Hmm. And how do you think of recruiting right now?
yeah. I think right the way we've been hiring is like very kind of through like actually
I know we talked a little earlier on, like, okay, from previous places and so forth that but yeah, to go into that more.
yeah, I think hiring based on network obviously is awesome, because you just know that you have someone to vouch for them, you have someone that has
Mhm.
like seen them over time. So that's obviously preferred.
Yeah,
But other than that, I think you really quickly know at our stage, like being at an early stage company, you just know so fast of like if this person is a fit, if they're
yeah,
gonna gel, if they like have the agency, have what it takes, have
yeah.
the speed, have the ambition, the like working style. I find that it's actually much easier than a big company to hire for a small company, because you just so quickly know in your gut,
Yes,
yes or no.
yes.
This is
Also,
where,
there's just nowhere to hide.
yeah,
There's nowhere to hide. We're all gonna know if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
yeah. And I think also when you're less, everyone's kind of doing everything, and it's a lot
Yeah,
more, maybe less specialized and more about how are you gelling with the team? Are you high agency? Are you making things happen? Are you moving fast? And those things are, I think you can tell.
yeah. Agreed. Agreed. You're in a fun spot right now, Brooke. I can tell. And that's exciting. Was there something that you unlocked last year, would you say? I used to ask people like, oh, do you have a hack or something? But like, how you were like, wow, I saved 2.5 hours a day doing X. I don't know.
Hack.
Personal or professional. Yeah.
I discovered MCPs. I thought MCPs were overhyped. I thought it was like,
Really?
kind of, like I didn't know how like useful it is, but I've been using Claude for everything now. Like I use it as an operating system. Like Claude skills are awesome. Claude MCPs, like you can integrate all these different apps to be able to say like, I need to create a linear ticket right now, or tell me about the last meeting I had with Fireflies. Give me a recap of like everything that I've learned from X customer, or X, like give me a recap of my
Yeah.
day yesterday and all the meetings I had. So that has been like a huge unlock, is just how fast you can move through apps, even apps that you use through UI, it's like it can really accelerate you.
Which are your favorite ones right now? Just so we know.
I mean, they're not super exciting, but they're just so useful. Is like meetings, like being able to interface with your meeting transcripts,
Yeah.
Google Calendar, Linear. I'm doing engineering and sales all day, every day. So being able to switch between the two is awesome. Linear agents are awesome. You can actually like assign a task out to a like cursor agent, and then it will take the task and run with it. So that's been really cool. What other like good, like CRM
Yeah.
MCPs where you can like update CRMs on the fly really fast, or like add notes about your meeting or whatnot. I use the linear one all the time too, from product insights. So I'll be talking to a customer, realizing like, this is the key unlock between what they're trying to do. And so I can do that like on the fly, which is great.
And NTP, you were talking about network time protocol, right?
Mono context protocol, MCP, are these this way of interfacing with lots of different applications. Anthropic is where it originally comes from. I think now lots of models support it, but it's a way to then basically create interfaces that the models can interface with in order to take actions on your behalf. So
it's like a USB-C.
Yeah, exactly. Like a way of connecting into like connectors.
Yeah, exactly.
Into different places. And you can then say, okay, this is my account. These are all my authenticators. And
Yes.
the model just
please go do the things.
The model
Exactly.
just goes, I can do these things, but you don't have to build that capability into the application.
Lots of people are working on this too, because there's so many disparate pieces around how we work and so forth that just need to be better connected. So yeah. Okay. Well, Brooke, I'm not surprised by that answer, but good to hear. That's excellent. How about just to wrap us up in a little bit, what's your favorite emotion and why?
Oh, my favorite emotion. I don't think I've ever been asked that in my life.
Right.
I've
heard some surprising answers, I'll tell you that.
I mean, going back to the trust thing, that feeling of flow with your team, when you just, it's like that yummy feeling of just knowing like my team's got my back, like I can trust them, they've got this, like I admire and respect my team and they admire and respect me. And just like that feeling of flow of like we all have our swim lanes and we're crushing at it.
It's like a collective flow.
Yeah, collective flow. I don't know if that's a feeling, but it's a feeling that I have, definitely. So
I think we upgraded to that, because people usually think of flow states as like it's individualistic. I'm working on a project, no one's talking to me for 5 hours. Isn't this wonderful? But in connected flow, I'd say it's a joint understanding and feeling that all around me is that flow state.
Totally.
And we're jamming like that.
It's the idea where you could just like close your eyes and like pass the ball to the person
And
next
someone's got it.
You know they're going to like nail that layup. You know that they're just like, they know what to do. You have your flow down and you just like going through things. That's what I love.
Oh, that's a juicy answer. I've not heard something like that. And it's I don't know the one word to nail that.
I like collective flow.
I like that too. We'll go with that. May we have more of that in 2026. I'm going with that. Brooke, thank you for being on today, live from San Francisco, where it's all happening. I love it.
San Francisco and Voice Alley, Soma.
Is it now an alleyway? Did they rename Soma already? Because
now we are on an alley in Soma, so that we are Voice Alley.
I like it. Perfect.
Awesome.
I'll be there next week.
It was great to chat.
Thank you, Brooke. Chat with you soon. Maybe on voice. There you go. Take care. See ya. Bye.
Thank you so much.